I call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, October 12, 2023, regular meeting, revised agenda. I ask for a moment of silent reflection and perhaps prayer for the state of Israel, for all those who are victim of terrorist attacks, wherever they might be in the world, but especially for the people of Israel and those who were at the music concert. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on January 9th of this location, date and time, and to the town news and the Bergen Record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website. File notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Kanigo.
Present.
Council President Kaufman.
Here.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Here.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Here.
Councilwoman Malalari.
Here.
Councilman Benson.
Here.
Mayor Papaleo.
Here. Okay, could I have a motion from Councilman Benson and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council regular meeting of September 28th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Second.
Aye.
All right, great.
I abstain.
And one abstention. We have a presentation update on construction projects. Jason Flores represents Costa Engineering. Jason, as always, it's a delight to have you here. Please give us an update.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilors, Board of Representatives, and public in general. Again, I'm Jason Flores. I'm a professional engineer in the state of New Jersey.
Jason, we lost your sound.
And can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying I'm happy to be here today to provide a project update on all the ongoing projects in the borough. So let me start with the project that has been completed within the past 3 weeks. One of the projects that we had open was the 2022 CDBG sidewalk replacement at Oxford and Rockers Place. The contractor was DNL Paving. They completed all the sidewalk replacement along the east, along the north and the south side of Oxford. The only thing that they have left is some punch list items, like because they were using the staging area on the small circle on Oxford. For those who are familiar with, some of the striping for the fire lanes were off, so they have to come back and restripe that. Other than that, the project is 100% complete.
Jason, I drove down Oak yesterday, and I was noticing that there seems to be some, maybe it's been corrected today, but a resident told me that there was some places where the replacement dirt around the sidewalk, as well as the seating, and was problematic. And I did see that. Was that
correct?
Addressed?
That's part of the 2023 ADA RAM program and the Borges project. So yes,
so we're talking about two different projects. Okay,
correct. Yeah, the project that I'm talking about right now is actually the CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant that's money given by the county in order to improve certain areas in town, and that project is completed 100% by the contractor DNL Paving. Now that I'm going to move forward with the 2023 ADA RAMs. That project is the replacement and improvement of all the ADA ramps along Elm Avenue, the Fenway, Oak Avenue. Yes, if you drove by yesterday, you will see that there was a lot of restorations that needs to be completed. But the contractor actually today complete all the restoration, the grass restoration, the asphalt restoration. So if you drive by Elm Avenue, the Fenway and Oak Avenue, you should be able to see that the restoration has been completed.
Outstanding.
For that project, we have roughly 80 ramps that were completed, and the contractor is finally done with that. Part of the project involved also the construction of new curve and sidewalk along the Elm Avenue ditch. And the contractor was supposed to start this week, but because of the rain and a couple of issues that the contractor have internally, the subcontractor couldn't be here this week, so he's gonna do that Monday, and he's planning to finalize all that by the following Friday. Now, as part of the 2023 ADA ramps improvements, there is also the improvements that needs to be done on KBG parking lot, which is the reconstruction of curve, new fencing, sidewalk, rehabilitation of the small concession stand on the KBG field, and the milling and paving of the parking lot. The contractor actually finished the first part of the project, which was the 2022 ADA ramps, and actually is moving there tomorrow to start the KBG parking lot. Based on my conversation with the contractor, he's estimating to be done with all the concrete work towards the end of the month. And he's gonna be ready to mill and pave that parking lot before the week of November 7. But at that point, it's gonna be a decision from our office to see if we're gonna let him mill and pave or not, because we're getting into like a cold winter time. And if the plans doesn't switch to winter mix, we will allow them to mill and pave. But if the plans switch to winter mix before the November 7 date, then we will recommend the town to wait for the spring. But as right now, the job is supposed to be completed before November 7. Now I'm gonna jump to the Borges project, which is the big one in town. So the Borges drainage improvement project, with everybody, well, most of the residents and the council know that that project involves the addition of 2 detention basins on the Oak Paper Street. As right now, the contractor is done with detention number 1 and with all the piping along Oak Avenue from Kensington to Wayne Avenue. Restoration haven't been completed yet, but all the structures are in yet. The only thing that is left is detention number 2, which is going to be the second phase of the project. And the reason why the contractor haven't finalized that yet is because we were having some issues with the delivery of the chambers. We were supposed to be getting them like 5-6 pieces a day, but we were getting lately like 3 pieces a day, 2 pieces a day. So there is not enough chamber for the contractor to, to start the work and finalize that part. I spoke to him. I spoke to the contractor is Martina and Son. Anthony Martina. I spoke to him in the morning. I asked him realistically. I really want to know an answer. When are you going to be done with detention number 2 and all the restoration? By the end of the month, he will be 95% completed, other than some concrete restoration that he has to do, some seating that he has to do, but the chamber, the detention number 2 will be in ground by the end of the month. I will now jump to the Fenway drainage improvement project, which was also the same contractor, Martina and Son. That project involved roughly like 650 linear feet of piping to be installed along the Fenway and Lee Avenue, and that project has been completed to 100%, including restoration. If you drive by today, by the Fenway, you will see that the project is complete, and the restoration have been completed as well. For Bogue Road section 5 and 6, the contractor was DNL Paving. That's from Howland all the way to Windsor Avenue. The project is 95% completed. He still has to do some small restorations, and he needs to install the flasher that is going to be in front of the school. They were actually there yesterday installing the flasher. However, I have to send them back to the shop because they brought a flusher that wasn't black. So the poles that we use in River Edge are black coated, and they didn't have the color black coating in there. So I told them, please go back, take it back, and you gotta paint it black, and then they gotta come back. So those are the six.
Jason, one
Go
second
ahead.
for me. So the Bogart Road is curbs and sidewalks, correct?
Correct, curve and sidewalks, yes.
And you're asking them to take it back and paint it, but will it have the same lifetime as if it had been originally painted? If this is a cover-up painting, isn't it
Oh,
likely?
no.
to fail?
Okay, so if they are gonna paint it and it's just gonna be covered up, I'm not gonna accept it. My experience, I can easily see if they paint it or they actually send it back to really, black coat it. So that would be my call. As soon as they bring it back and I go and inspect it, if it doesn't meet the standards that it's supposed to meet, then I will send it back again.
Good, thank you.
And those are the ongoing projects that we have right now. I know we have number of residents complaining about the restoration of the grass and the noise and the equipment here and there, but I want everybody to understand that when you are constructing these projects, it's going to be some headache that we need to work with. And our office has been we have a person there full time inspecting all these projects, and every person that approach to us and ask us questions or send us emails, we try to respond them as soon as possible and try to address their concerns. That's all the projects that we have going on right now.
Great, let me open it up to the council. Does any member of council wish to ask a probing question or a clarifying question? Councilman Kaniga.
I just want to thank Jason and Mr. Costa and all our professionals for the work they've been doing in our town. Right now looks like a little bit of a disaster, but by spring, it is all going to be beautiful. And you, Mr. Mayor, and this council and this administration and Ms. Opertella should all be commended for the fine work that's being done here in River Edge.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? Jason, I concur with Councilman. Oh, Councilwoman Kinsella.
Just a clarification question. Jason, so you said the Voorhees project will be, all the materials will be in the ground at the end of the month?
Correct, yes. So right now, starting from Wayne Avenue, going all the way up to Voorhees, all the structures are in the ground, so they're completed. So the only thing left to be done from Wayne Avenue to Voorhees is restoration. The second part of the project is the detention number 2, which is the biggest one. That's between Manning and Kensington and Voorhees, and that's going to be completed towards the end of the month. Yes, that's what the contractor told me. He has been a great contractor that the Board of River Edge has been getting for the past years in drainage, and he has been able to accomplish the deadlines that he has promised.
Jason.
Yes.
Okay. I think she's done. Any other member of council? All right, Jason. Well, we're really very happy.
I think Lisa had a
Mayor, yeah, I did have a question, just that
Oh,
I
I'm sorry, I
couldn't get
missed
on
it.
mute. No, it's okay. Hey, Jason, just a quick question on the restoration, the grass restoration. Is that going to be accomplished, you think, this year were possible before winter, or is that something that the residents should expect to be done in the spring, given the timing?
Now, no matter what, restoration is going to happen now. So if the grass doesn't grow for next spring, the contractor will come back and will restore it again. But yes, so you will see a final product towards the end of the project, except for the roadway. We're not going to be doing any milling and paving until
Right.
PSCNG is done with all the roads in town, which is going to push us for next spring.
Okay, so if it doesn't take now, they'll come back in the spring and try to solve it then. Okay.
Correct.
Plus,
thank you.
Jason, just for the benefit of the council and as a continuation of Councilwoman Monsanto Cohen's question, we need for the roads to settle before we pave, or else we would be paving and there would be a trench created as the ground begins to compact under above the pipes. Is that correct?
That's correct. Can I say something else?
Always. Go ahead.
So we know we had a small issue also on Beach Drive North. We wanted to address it now, but since April, PSG&G had the idea. Well, back in April, PSG&G was planning to be in town for a period of 1 year doing a lot of trenching work. So that's the reason why we did not address Beach Drive North yet, because if you see there's a trench there, and and we have to wait for settling, and we don't want to waste money on doing something that we'll have to go back and do it. And another thing I want to also put out on the record is that 3 weeks ago, we got 1.74 inches of rain. That was on a Friday. And that was over a period of 30 minutes, which is a 50-year storm plus of intensity. And I was monitoring all the structures that were placed in ground. I was on Memorial Park. I was on the Elm Avenue ditch, and we did not notice any flooding at all. And we did not notice any complaint coming from any resident about flooding. So that's it. That was just only with the partial installation of detention number 1. Now detention number 1 is complete, and we still need to do detention number 2.
So this was well engineered, and it's achieving the goal that we had set. And so that's outstanding. Wouldn't everybody agree?
Mhm.
Jason, anything else?
No, that's all I have. The only thing I just want to put on the record that if any resident of any councilman or any representative from the borough needs us to answer any question, they can reach out to the office. They can reach me personally. We will be happy to provide any update. We will be happy to attend any needs that they need to accommodate, and we'll address their concerns as well.
Outstanding. You and Costa Engineering has always been very good to River Edge. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, we're going to let Jason go. Are there any further questions? Jason, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good night. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Okay, well, that was very helpful. Okay, we have proclamations and awards. Proclamation declaring October 2023 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Do we have someone present to receive this proclamation?
No, we do not.
Then if there is no objection, I'm just going to read it into the record. All right. Whereas in the United States, breast cancer is the 3rd most common cause of cancer deaths after lung cancer and colon cancer. And whereas during National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we renew our commitment to fighting the disease, raising awareness, and supporting those affected by breast cancer. And whereas death rates from breast cancer have been declining, and this change is believed to be the result of early detection and improved treatment. And whereas mammogram as an X-ray of the breast is recognized as the single most effective method for detecting breast changes that may be cancer long before physical symptoms can be seen or felt. And whereas October 20th, 2023 is National Mammogram Day, a day set aside to promote the importance of regular screening and early detection and promote prompt treatment of breast cancer. And whereas we recognize the initiative and the life-saving work of medical professionals through their efforts to prevent, detection, and make a difference in the lives of citizens, whereas where it is important to continue the fight against breast cancer and to reduce the risk of the disease amongst our citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Thomas Papaleo, Mayor of the Borough of River Edge, and on behalf of the council, do proclaim October 2023 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think it's important. So many of our mothers and sisters and wives have been lost to breast cancer, and the more that we can do to end this scourge, the better we are. I know my mother, not my mother, my wife's mother died when she was pregnant with her second child and had only her first child. And it was a terrible death because at that time there wasn't a lot of effective treatment. So it was an ugly death. And her and her sister have never gotten over it. And so I keep in my prayers all those who are suffering from breast cancer, who have lost others due to breast cancer. All right, without objection, we will move on to public comments. Could I have a motion from Councilman Canigo and a second from Councilwoman Malari to open to the public on any item on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 We have only one person in the gallery. Greg, if you would like to offer a comment or ask a question, Council President Kaufman can let you in. Just raise your hand.
Does not look like it.
All right, very good. Could I have who have I not gotten to yet? Could I have a motion from Council President Kaufman and a second from Councilman Benson to close to the public on the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, in a moment, could I have a motion from Councilwoman Montesano Cohen and a second from Councilwoman Kinsella to approve the appointment and personnel changes, approve the resignation of Gina McAllister from the River Edge Volunteer Fire Department, effective August 21st, 2023. Approve the resignation of Dixie Renee, Administrative Assistant for the Finance Department and Clerk's Office, effective October 10th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Or are there any abstentions? Hearing none, it is unanimous. We have monthly reports on file for anyone who might be interested. Environmental Commission / Green Team, Land Use Board, Tax Collector, Library Board of Trustees. Please contact the clerk if you'd like to get a copy. First reading ordinance. In a moment, could I have a motion from Councilman Canigo and a second from, Councilwoman Montesano Cohen to the following two ordinances. Motion that the following ordinance be introduced and passed on the first reading, setting November 13th, 2023, 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard, as the date and time, and Zoom as a virtual platform for hearing said ordinance. So that would be ordinance 23-18, an ordinance to amend this and supplementing the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, chapter 400, vehicles and traffic. And the second one, a motion that this motion will also move the ordinances for first reading for November 20th and is setting November 27th at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter, as it can be heard, the date and time in Zoom for said ordinance to be heard. That would be ordinance 23-19, an ordinance amending chapter 416 in the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge entitled zoning.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Before it's voted on, let's have our business administrator, Ms. Aportella, to give a brief synopsis for the public's benefit.
Sure. 2318 is a traffic ordinance that has to be adopted because as part of a parking enforcement review, the traffic division found that the parking restriction on 3rd Avenue needed to be codified. So this ordinance does that. 23-19 is an ordinance concerning lead paint inspections. The state is requiring municipalities to adopt such an ordinance.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. It is a first read ordinance, so I believe it can be done by acclamation. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Are there any opposed? Are there any abstentions? Hearing none, we have moved for first reading ordinances 23-18 and 23-19. 23-18, 23-19 unanimously. Okay, we have resolutions 23-285 to 23-289, but there's a very important one included in this. Ms. Apatella, would you speak to the council about 23-287, authorizing division of local government services, fiscal year 24, grant application, public facilities improvement, Borough Hall repairs and addition, and municipal park repairs.
Yes, through the assistance from our state legislators, the state included in its annual budget $900,000 for River Edge.
So
And-
let's stop. Could you repeat that amount?
$900,000.
Thank you. Keep going.
So, and it was the purpose is to assist with the unexpected costs involving repairing Borough Hall and to make the repairs to Brookside and Memorial Park. But to receive that funding, they don't just cut a check when you win the lottery. What they do is they had to implement it under a program known as SAGE, and we have to put in for it as a grant application. There is no match to this. It's not like we have to put $900,000 for it. We already have funding for these projects anyway in our budgets. So these funds will, since we already awarded for the interior repairs to Borough Hall, these funds will help offset the cost for the exterior entrance repairs. And with the parks, it will help fund the repairs that we were cited by the JIF for the playgrounds and the walkways. If anything additional is done, is maybe to resurface one of the courts, maybe some minor drainage, no lighting. This is just to address the items that were cited in the JIF report. And by doing this, yes, we have our open space and we have an award for the county open space for Brookside and a pending application for Memorial Park. But this will help reduce the number of phases to get this project done. So,
Outstanding.
yeah. So once this resolution is adopted, the borough clerk signs it. There's a section for me to sign. I have to upload it to the state. The deadline to complete all the paperwork is next Friday, but this is for us. This is the final piece, and then I'll find out when we should expect the funding, and we can move forward with our projects.
So this is $900,000 that will not come out of property taxes. This is $900,000 that might have gone to another town. And due to the efforts of Senator Lagana, Assemblywoman Swain, and Assemblyman Tully, this came to River Edge. So almost $1 million to ease the tax burden of our residents. We are very, very, very grateful for the work of Senator Lagana, Assemblywoman Swain, and Assemblyman Tully. We really appreciate it, and we hope we get more. Any other member of council wish to say anything before we Councilman Kanigo?
I just also want to thank Lagana, Swain, and Tully for taking care of River Edge, for thinking of us, and our borough administrator and her staff for all the fine work that they've done and will continue to do to bring money in to get grants written. This is the type of work that you elect us for, and this is what we're doing for this town, bringing the money in. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Senator and Assemblywoman and Assemblyman, for helping us in what are dire financial times for everybody.
Okay. Now, if any member of council wants to say something during comments, they can, or they can say something now. That's okay, or we can just move it. Are we ready to move it? Okay. So could I have a motion from Councilman Kanigo and a second from Councilwoman Kaufman, because they're both on the Finance Committee, to move 23-285 to 23-289?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Now, Council President Kaufman, you are also the Finance Chair, so would you move 23-290, and one member of the Finance Committee, please second?
Yes, payment of bills at a regular meeting of the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on October 12th, 2023. Be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund, $1,773,681.65. Capital fund, $106,993.14. Grant fund, $25.18. Trust other fund, $1,301.80. Developers escrow fund, $5,110. Self-insurance trust fund, $2,045.02. Recreation trust fund, $530.04. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, any opposed, any abstention? Hearing none. Okay, so for discussion, a request by the police department for additional crossing guard. Who is going, Ms. Apertola, I assume you're going to speak to this?
Yes, our police department provided various traffic counts, pedestrian counts, even illegal U-turns, explaining why there's the need for the additional crossing guard. If the governing body so chooses to move forward with it, it does require a change in our code. We have to adopt an ordinance. So since that won't be effective until mid-November, the soonest they could put a guard on that site would be end of November, beginning of December. I asked the chief and the police chief and the chief financial officer to determine the cost of an additional crossing guard. And based on the salary, the physicals, the uniforms, the cost would be about $18,000 or $1,500 per month.
Now, I'm assuming that this, it says from the police department, but I'm assuming it came from the chief of police, Ms. Chief Walker.
Yes, it was prepared by Sergeant Diamond as head of the traffic bureau, but nothing comes to me without Chief Walker's approval.
Excellent, excellent. So, so the council needs to consider this. I think it's something we should always do. If the chief is asking for it, and we certainly have funds for it. So, is the council, it's open for discussion. Any member of council wish to offer a discussion in support or in opposition?
I think absolutely we should proceed as the chief indicates. And, you know, funnily enough, I remember a couple of years ago, I saw a Facebook group that was historic pictures from Bergen County and River Edge. And there was a picture of that intersection from the 1940s. And they were talking about how it was a dangerous intersection at the time. And there were a lot of accidents back in the 1940s. So wow. Just historically speaking, it makes sense. And certainly based on what Diamond and Walker have told us and the investigation that they conducted, they sat there watching people getting crossed for several days. And they reported back to us, just so the general public understands that there was an investigation behind this.
Yes.
I think we should proceed.
Good. Any other member of council, President Kaufman?
I would just say, I think this is a great idea, given the traffic counts that they noticed. And I know they're also going to be planning on doing a U-turn ordinance for that space, because there were 5 illegal U-turns done in a period of like an hour or two, which seems very, very bad. So I'm glad everything's going to get addressed.
Excellent. I agree wholeheartely with both of you. If I see the council nodding, could I have a motion from Councilman Kanigo and a second from Councilwoman Kaufman to approve going to an ordinance for this?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Very good. Is there any new business before the council? Is there any old business?
I just have a
Councilman Benson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for the council. The Historic Commission was, we had permission, thank you very much, to meet in person at the library for our last meeting. And unfortunately, the library was closed and the meeting kind of got all jumbled up, and we finally got over to the Cultural Center, and then we had problems connecting with people on Zoom. So we had challenges with that meeting. We are going to be presenting to the council actually at the next council meeting, but I was wondering if the council might be so kind to just give us permission to meet at the library on October 24th for our next meeting, the one that will come after we present to you. Just so we can kind of reconvene that we never really got on that last meeting. We lost a lot of time.
So Councilman Benson, are you making a motion?
I guess so, yeah, I'll make a motion,
Oh.
I guess, to ask for us to be able to meet in
So say so
person.
moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you.
No, Councilman Benson, say so moved.
Oh, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it is open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi,
Any opposed, any abstention? That was a pretty easy one, right?
thank you.
All right. Any other old business? Okay. Could I have a motion from Councilman Benson and a second from Councilwoman Molari to open to the public on any item for 2 minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi,
There are two people
Aye.
in the gallery right now. If either of them would like to offer a comment or ask a question, feel free to raise your hand and Council President Kaufman will let you in.
Does not look like it.
All right. Could I have a motion from any member of council and a second to close to the public?
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Does any member of council wish to offer any comment at this time?
I just wanted to reiterate, I'd like to thank our state senator, Joseph Lagana, and our assembly people, Lisa Swain and Chris Tully, for awarding us with this really outstanding $900,000 grant that is going to allow our town to do a lot of capital improvements, which will not need to be funded by our residents. So a huge thank you to our legislators for helping our town so much.
I agree. Any other member of council wish to offer a comment? Councilwoman Kinsella.
I would also like to reiterate what Councilman Kaufman just said. This is a huge win for the borough of River Edge and for the mayor and council and our RPA Elizabeth Opertella. And I'd also like to mention that sorry, my voice. This is the 6th annual Diwali celebrations, 9 p.m. at the Riverdale High School.
Any other member of council? Councilman Benson.
yeah, just also want to remind, I think tomorrow in the park, there's going to be Buster Stop from 6:30 to 9:30. And I got a chance to speak to the sister of the young man who had died of the drug overdose. And it sounds like a really important event for a really good cause. So I just encourage people to show up.
Any other member of council? Councilwoman Molari.
I just want to remind the residents that this Saturday, the Environmental Protection Commission will have the styrofoam and shredding event at DPW starting at 8:30. Rain or shine, they're going to be there unless it starts raining too much. So they're going to stop at that time, but it's still on.
Excellent. Any other member of council? All right, then. Could I have, we don't have a closed session. So we've done good work today. I appreciate everything everyone's done. Could I have a motion and second to close the meeting?
So moved.
Adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, everyone. Good night and good work.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.